Just absolute Kirby fans all over the place. Team B, Team Kirby, I got it. And then, of course, they're playing with Londo Bell's own Nataku, and then I believe we have Raging Down following it out. So, really excited. You can kind of see them. You know, when you see the Haro sign, that means they're in their, ironically, in their Haro, looking at their suit selection. Looks like both teams have kind of are thinking about it, right? You have a few locked in, you got a few thinking. What are your thoughts?
I think Team A definitely seems to know already what they were doing as soon as they came in here. We had 2, now 3, 4 immediate ready-ups, while three of the members of Team B are currently still deciding what suits they want to pick. It seems one of them came in here a lot more ready than we thought. So it's certainly going to be interesting seeing those strategies.
I mean, as we all know, when somebody immediately readies up, it chooses one or two things. It's either they're choosing a meta pick, or they're choosing something that they're very comfortable with, but maybe there's some question marks from other team members, right? And here we go.
This is gonna be an exciting one.
I like the paint job, green and purple. Big Ninja Turtles vibe.
Oh, and that little symbol on the shield. Here we go. First match, what looks to be a Psychomu test type Doga, a GBO 1FB, and 2 Zaku 3s versus a Hyakushiki, another Zaku 3, Magnum R2. They're immediately going at it. I didn't even get enough time to introduce all the mobile suits. Hyakushiki is certainly an interesting pick, especially in modern 550 meta. Hopefully it goes well for them.
Oh, wow, look at the top getting in there. Double downswing. Good follow-up by Raging Down. After depression, also getting the downswing.
They're just going at it immediately. Wow, these teams are certainly very aggressive.
Yeah,
with the Zaku 3 engaging with the MP Zeta, hitting him with the typical bread and butter downswing combo.
Oh, it looks like red team is pulling out the first squad wipe. I'd be interested to see if they can cap. Maybe not.
Maybe not. We only the Mark II remains against 2 Zaku 3. That's not exactly a favorable matchup.
No, is he gonna back down? Is he gonna back off? What's he gonna do? He's gonna play it real close.
I get too close against 2 melee suits. Let's see how this goes. Down goes the Mark II.
Okay, so we got a cap at, what is that? Bravo?
That is, yep, that's Bravo point. Seems that Team A will be taking the first fight. It was pretty bloody, pretty close, but those Zaku 3s, they're just too hard to take down.
They're really tanky. You're absolutely right.
Taking down the tower. Interesting.
That almost seems like a waste of ammo.
I'm not sure quite what the plan was there. Hyakushiki unfortunately got messed up by Team A. Cryo. That's unfortunate. Oh, Hyakushiki's gonna go down to the GBO 1FB after a counter. That rifle is nothing to scoff at for sure. How do you feel about the choice of this GBO 1FB being brought in?
You know, it's divisive. I didn't like it when it came down. It was kind of just out of place. Ugly duckling, in my opinion. But then once it got the buff, you see it everywhere. And rated and quicks. I hate the annoying overboost skill, but damn if it doesn't work.
It definitely works. The rifle after its buff is certainly very scary with its 50% build stun per unfocused shot. It's definitely a menace to be dealt with unless you're Zaku 3.
Yeah, and speaking of which, they've got one at full health, one on his last limb. I've got 3 solid teammates at full health. I'm going to be curious how to play this because you're playing this a man down. So I would say they really need to target one person, looks like they're doing right now. And then,
unfortunately, their GBO 1FB got left alone and he got massacred by the Zaku 3 and the Hyakushiki. It seems that Team B is trying to come together, but their Magnum Mark II is currently separated from the team. Hopefully they can group back up because those Zaku 3s are scary, even while at low HP. Yeah, down goes one of the Zaku 3s. How do you feel about the choice between running two of these?
If you're gonna run one of them, run two of them. Because they're so darn tanky. I mean, it's the epitome of a frontline general.
It definitely is. It's got two strong melee options, has maneuver armor, damage control, and even now it has offense system. It is incredibly hard to stop.
Yeah.
Definitely the best frontliner that currently exists at 550 at the moment.
I agree, and you weren't kidding, Sero. Somebody told me that you knew your skills when it came to mobile suit choices, and you're just really listing them off, so I'm really impressed here. And look at that. The team really brought it back. We're talking about a 700-point difference now. They took B and, I believe, C, so they've captured 2 forward objectives. Now it's anybody's game.
It is anybody's game. If they can get at least 2-3 kills here, even if they wipe, it'll still be equalized going into the ace selection. Because as we know, an ace match, the game doesn't really start until that ace pops.
Absolutely. And speaking of, there it is, 30 seconds till. Based off what I've seen so far, I'm thinking maybe that Saikamu might become ace on Team A, and then I would be surprised if it's not the Shiki on Team B.
I'm thinking it'll probably be one of the Zaku 3s on Team A and then the Zaku 3 on Team B. It's the strongest suit on both teams, and I'm consistently seeing them go in and doing their jobs.
Ooh, speaking of, yeah, look at that. And I mean, you're absolutely right. If you were to choose a suit, and WoW called it 2 Zaku, you would want them because they have the highest health pool on the teams. Ooh, look at that.
Oh,
and just like
and they
that,
saved it for the ace.
Perfect
play.
Yep.
What were you saying about those Zaku 3 and their high durability?
High durability. I lost my train of thought, and that's because we just watched what we were kind of talking about before the match of leaving your ace kills, which is super important in the ace match. It's really what determines how it goes after that 3-minute mark. You can be up 5,000 points, and you can still lose if the other team's ace play is much better.
Absolutely. And we see currently that the Team A is currently trying to rotate with their ace to try and get on top of Team B's ace. They're coordinating and sticking together perfectly to try and keep their ace protected. That's the sign of a coordinated team.
Right. I'm just wondering how much that high ground is going to be difficult to overcome. There comes that full burner pushing up, but you're right. Ace is rotating.
They're keeping pace with their ace, and that's great. These guys definitely know what they're doing.
And it looks like they're leaving him kills. They're not taking the obvious, quick kills that they could have right there with Raging Down or even a Taku. They're giving him time to work. As anybody who plays this games know, you get chosen as ace, sometimes it can get a little flustering because you got 4, 5, 6 people looking at you.
You specifically.
Yeah, so it can it can easily get out of hand.
Unfortunately, it looks like Team B's ace is currently getting focused down by the enemy ace and the GBO on a B. And the Tetsuo can drop those incoms. Yep, down he goes. Oh, Hyakushiki gets a topple on their ace, though. I'm not sure that can get a kill. Zaku 3 is simply too tanky.
Yeah, too much life. I do love that downswing on the Shiki.
That raw downswing, it's too fast. People still can't react to it.
There's nothing better than just getting kicked in the face.
I can't help but agree. And looks like Team A is taking yet another fight. Those Zaku 3s, they're monsters, really.
Yeah. I wonder, sadly I think this is game 1, but it makes me wonder, going into game 2, different map, different cost, if they're going to switch it up based off of the play styles they've seen in this game.
That's a great point to consider. Both these teams seem to be pretty aggressive for the most part, except for when ace pops. But that's to be expected. You want to play generally safe when ace pops, because if your ace dies, then you kind of lose your way to victory.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if we'll be seeing some more passive or shootery comps in some of the upcoming matches, or if we'll just keep full tilt on that aggression. I, for one, would love to see more aggression.
I think you're absolutely right. Team A, there's no reason to change what they had going. Big front line, high aggression, melee-oriented suits. It worked. It worked in spades. So why would you change that up? I think Team B got to look at some things like, hey, maybe we don't bring such a squishy raid. It didn't really pan out here. Do we bring more front line? But again, that's going to depend on the cost here. So I'm really interested to see what the cost is.
I believe.
And really interested to see. I think last game we looked at Dr. Depression first, so I think it's gonna be Dr. Depression again. Let's see what he brought. Oh,
Looks to be a
fan
high
favorite.
dog. That is
Favorite.
a level 2 monster right there.
Why is it a monster, Sero?
Well, after its buffs a few odd so months ago, the High Gog has elevated all of its costs. It has high bulk, high stun resistance. Its melee is strong. It's quite short. Has priority 3. Its shooting is fantastic, and it's generally just a menace to put down.
Oh my goodness, look at this team comp. You got an Axaku, so Daka Daka, you got the
White Dingo and a Gundam.
yeah, and an EX. What do we have on Team B?
Looks to be 2 Grandpas, a Gundam X, and a Metal Spider. That is a very strong comp.
That's meta.
That is a meta comp without a doubt. Even when there's no support to fight, the Metal Spider is still an incredibly scary suit to see. It can absolutely put the beats on generals.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, they can juggle for days. It can 1v1 a general, even at disadvantage, very easily. And it looks like we've got gang warfare here. Plague went down first. He's back up with iframes. I mean, if you're Dr. Depression, you've got to put that High Gog on the front line ASAP.
Absolutely.
Let the new armor go to work. Let its downswings eat.
Oh, we're gonna get a trade-off. High Gog and Metal Spider go down.
Nice.
It seems the Team B currently has the health advantage. Both the Gramps are still up, which automatically gives them an advantage in this fight. How do you feel about Grandpa after its adjustments?
I hate it because it's so dang good. It's a real pain to run into in the quick matches and the rated matches. Yeah, the double uncharged, the 1 second charge up 2 stun, the beam saber is brutal. I really dislike how good people are getting with the hyper hammer. I'm seeing newer tricks every single day. Like now you can take out pilots with the hyper hammer. I didn't know that was possible. So just really excited to see it make a re-emergence. The only thing about Team A that's kind of concerning me is their White Dingo. It's again another high risk, high reward suit. I mean, do you use that suit?
I personally don't use it that much, but it still has quite its strong niche with its long range high leg damage. But other than that, it doesn't really hold a lot of merit, especially in a 4v4 setting. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it in this match.
I was just talking smack on it, and it looks like it kind of panned out here. I mean, he's still at full health. He must have been hitting his shots because it looks like they did almost a complete team wipe. They did lose one, but of course their High Gog is low, their EX gun is low, Zaku is half health. So if you're Team B here, you go full out, high aggro. You try to just do a quick squad wipe right here.
The High Gog is surviving longer than I thought he would. And here comes the Gundam X for the save. Oh, but he still goes down anyway thanks to the Metal Spider. Metal Spider, unfortunately, while it is incredibly strong with a very large kit, it is one of the squishiest suits it costs. You absolutely have to be careful when you're engaging with these high melee damage generals.
Ooh, alright, looks like you got Nataku and Kerbo just combo womboing right there. They finished that up.
It looks like they're going to take this.
Hard to say. A full health High Gog is always a dangerous beast. Ooh,
he gets hit with the hyper hammer. But he's still High Gog. He's taking those hits like a champ. He hits the raw hammer neutral. You can't get anything off of it, but the teammates come in. High Gog from the back.
Yeah, that hyper hammer, that's the only downside of it, is it just has really no natural follow-up, unless you want to just waste your boost bar.
Absolutely. You can prepare a beam rifle shot after it, but usually you want to have a teammate there to help you with it if you're not going to go for the down. How do you feel about how this High Gog is currently playing? I think he's going quite crazy at the moment.
I mean, that's how you play the dang suit. It's got, what, one insta-stun, it's got a few follow-up weapons, its Vulcans are surprisingly strong, its maneuver armor is always surprising folks with how much it can take before it gets to you. The reach on its downswing is insane. It's just one of those things where you think you're safe being at a certain distance, and it turns out that, that second lunge it does has a right there. It's a lot further away than you think it would be, which is great. I think he's playing it just right. He's targeting, obviously, the raid. I like what the EX Gundam is doing. He's really taking full effect of its special skill.
The tactical boost that allows it to hop and leap into the air consistently. With that stun res, too. It's quite hard to put down.
It is, and I'm always surprised with how little boost it uses.
Yeah, it's definitely quite the monster for sure. It was, I would have considered it the strongest 400 gen before the great grandpa resurgence. It has quite a varied kit: 2 melee, strong damage, 2 instant stuns, though 1 is a focus required. Good build up. It's generally just a very strong generalist suit, but unfortunately, Grandpa did not like that another Gundam took his place, so he's back to take his crown back.
Absolutely, and it looks like we're boiling down to the end of game 2. Looks like Team A is maybe gonna squeak out here another win.
It's definitely looking like it. This is quite, I would say, this is definitely, yeah. Team A is taking it once again.
All right, so with that being said, double elimination tournament. Sadly, that's going to put our Team B wildcards out of the race, but not forever. We do have a secondary bracket where they will fight the opposing team of our second match that also takes the loss. So we'll see how that pans out. Yeah, this was a great match though, and you can look at the costs here. Obviously we played a lower cost second match, but the score was, really close again. 3,000 points really isn't a whole lot in 400. Could have been Abe's game, but again, it looks like Nightmare Noob just really came through with the Axaku. I think he was running the Daka on it, so
he was,
the machine gun. And people sleep on that suit because it's not flashy. It doesn't do a ton of damage all at one time, but what it does do is high, consistent, reliable damage. I think it's like, 35 rounds in that clip. Each one's dinging you for about 300 damage. You can do the math.
Yeah, you can do the math there, and it absolutely chews through legs.
Easy Dracon, he's an S-, right? Did he earn it, or is it kind of a coast ride into the S's? We will find out. We
will certainly see. This could be our first showing of an S flat in the tournament too, with GBAT. So we'll see how that goes down this match. Let's see what the first suit of this team is. It is looking to be a grandpa. Definitely not a bad choice. Not running the Hyper Hammer though, it seems.
Not at all. I mean, what's great about the buff is it's good across all costs, because with the new pay-to-win parts, they buff you at certain levels. The higher the level you are, the more buff you get out of some of these parts. So that's not a problem at all. And of course, it's in the hand of Perudo. GBAT's running the Grandpa Gundam. You've got heavy arms and the in the White Rider.
New Johnny Red and Gelgoog.
Yeah, we got the Free Jaeger Grandpa Gundam, and then is that the full armor, Alex?
That is a full armor Alex, yep, with a Jetta as well. That is an old meta suit. I'm surprised to see it be brought out here. Very curious to see how it plays in this current, very volatile 450 meta.
And speaking of the volatility, they both just charge straight in, crossing that ditch, and then they're just going to it. It's much more shooty, it seems, in this match. I wouldn't say it's because they're afraid to play the melee, but it's just based on the suits they brought. You really got to play defensively in that White Rider. It does have a nice downswing with that barrier lunge, or whatever it's called, the saber lunge.
Yep.
But I mean, you can't argue. Rapier. The rapier, yes. You can't argue with his just consistent Daka damage, though. Moving over to the Alex, what are your thoughts of the FA Alex?
I think the FA Alex is one of the strongest, if not the strongest, current 450 support option. It has 2 stuns that can loop into itself. It's got decent build, high ballistic damage, decent beam damage. It even has 2 swings. It has ERA as well, so you can't hit it with Zook Splash. It can fight raids, and, well, it's very strong. It's generally very, very strong.
Wow. Would you look at that, though? I mean, that JR Galgu got a hold of the FA Alex, ended it. It was a squad wipe. They've pushed up, like you mentioned before, captured the Bravo beacon. So now it's a really uphill battle for Team B. They've got to get out of spawn. They've got to get some quick kills. They've got to start capturing beacons.
Absolutely. It's quite hard to escape the base trap unless you absolutely dominate your opponent, but because of how the map is laid out, you have disadvantage with the right shoulder lean, so it's going to be really hard for them to get out of this.
Yeah. I mean, but look at that. It looks like Team A's really come together. I saw the FA Alex. Team B really came together there for a brief moment. You saw the FA Alex get a quick kill. We're watching the Jaeger now doing some real damage with that main rifle. Would you consider the Jaeger kind of a dual-edged sword, Sero?
I would, because if your team is consistently putting the pressure on the enemy, it can just stay in the back and be a menace. But when you're pushed back this far, it kind of suffers because it is still a squishy suit.
Agreed. And, it takes a moment to shoot, right? It has to come to a stop to shoot all of its guns except the shotgun, which kind of puts it at a small disadvantage when you're fighting, 2 Grandpa Gundams that just are so mobile in their shooting.
Absolutely. That beam rifle is one of the scariest in the game. More accurate, dare I say. We're gonna have a hammer
trade.
Hammer trade there.
It's good to see Team B, though. They're moving out of spawn. They've pushed up to Bravo. It looks like they have the opportunity here to get some quick... maybe not.
Maybe not. Those grandpas and that White Rider. Unfortunately, this is an instance where they do not have a raid to consistently pressure against that White Rider.
Speaking of the White Rider, I see it charging up its heavy stagger right now. I don't think I've seen it this game. Maybe I've just missed it on the camera, but that thing is absolutely melting suits out there these days. Absolutely.
It is a one hit, so you got to be absolutely careful with it, but it does absolutely nuclear damage, and it can take out any suit's legs instantly. If you can get a proper setup for it, that instantly takes the suit out of the fight.
And I was just gonna say, the suits on Team B got, of course, we missed it.
We missed it.
That's a pain. He'll make it up though. But the suits on Team B's side, I was just looking at them. They typically do have the weaker legs. So unless you're packing leg parts, if that White Rider catches a hold of your legs with that beam, it's a done deal.
Absolutely. It looks like the White Rider is actually going to go down for once. The team put the focus on it, and now they're able to push out against Team A. It took them a couple fights, but they're managing. Maybe we might see this game turn around. So there is only 3.
Support fire. Support fire took
now it's down to a one-on-one. Grandpa versus Jetta.
Yeah. And so on this one, this is interesting because Mental and Pluto typically do fight each other quite often, a couple times a week in clan practice. And he finished it.
He gets the kill. I was back on a 2v2. They're on the back foot now, but if they push forward, they do have a suit advantage. Let's see if they're willing to do that. Seems like they want to keep this to a shooting fight, which is not good for them considering the score gap at the moment.
Well, that's the thing, is they chose a shooting suit comp, right? I mean, the only thing that can really frontline is their Grandpa Gundam and their Jetta, but even then, it requires a big front line for the Jetta to be successful.
Yeah. It's definitely just an unfortunate series of circumstances where I think it's going to lead to the snowball of their loss, unfortunately. But maybe they can pull something out here.
Yeah, 2 minutes, basic match. It would at least require you to grab Bravo back from them and move the fight back to the middle of the map.
If they can manage that, they might be able to close the gap partially, but I'm almost confident it's too big at this point. But never give up, right?
Never give up. Always finish your fights. And then again, you know, going back to what we were talking about before the match, this is 4 players who have never played together in their first match, right? So we're seeing some synergy. It definitely, the coordination looks like it's picked up since the beginning of the match. I think that's probably what cost them the middle points of C and D. What are your thoughts, Sero?
I think it was definitely a bit of a struggle starting out, but maybe we'll see upcoming in the second match that they'll come closer together and bring us a closer match, maybe even strike out a win.
Man, and if you look at Team A, they're just not taking their foot off the gas at all. You've got the White Rider frontlining with his rapier out. And then wow, look at the FA Alex, it can melt suits when it gets a hold of them.
Absolutely. That Gatling does disgusting levels of damage. It seems to be a support one-on-one. Ooh, the White Rider takes him out. And the Grandpa too. Popping Zeus? He's going to try and get one last MBL off maybe. Oh, but unfortunately he's trapped between 2 generals. This is probably it for the White Rider.
Maybe, maybe not. Support's coming in. And one thing I didn't know about the MBL and Zeus mode, it does charge in it cuts the charge down from what, 10 seconds to maybe 5?
Yep, it cuts it, I'm pretty sure, directly in half. That on top of the more attack power you get in Zeus makes it pretty scary. But it looks like that's going to be the end of this first match with Team A absolutely taking it home. How do you feel about the results of this match? Do you think it was expected, or were you expecting a bit of a closer score gap?
You know, I would love to see a closer score gap, but again, I just think with Team A being a lot of Londo Bell regulars playing together constantly, they even had their own nickname before joining this tournament. It was expected. But I will say I'm again just as impressed with Mental Chaos and Oni. Over on Team B, it's exactly what I expected out of those 2 guys taking the board. Lazy Draken taking top individual score. That's about what we expected. I would say they just maybe pick a little bit more synergistic suits, you know, that complement each other. Going into
a few more Grandpas wouldn't help.
Yes. When in doubt, Grandpa's out.
Absolutely. I've had some time with the level 4 White Rider. It is incredibly bulky, but I'm not sure how well its kit holds up at 600. If we do see it, I would love to see how it plays, but I don't think we will.
All right, so what are we starting out with? This is the RF.
That is the RF Goof. One of the better 600 rage choices here. Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right.
Let's see what other suits we're working with. Ooh, another Grandpa. White Rider! Wow.
Level 4, let's go. But you called it on Team B. They did go with the G Cannon, I believe.
Yeah, that is a G Cannon.
Y'all Nathan.
Definitely fallen off a little bit, but it's still strong with a mass production new Gundam as well as a Hazen player. They've got well, I would say their front line is rather poor, but Team A has no front line.
I mean, that's always the risk you run, bringing high-level suits, like the level 4 White Rider, the level 4 Grandpa Gundam, I believe. They're just not native to that cost. So I'm not going to say you pay a penalty for it, but you just might miss out on some key skills, like something like the Yonfaven might have, like the flat boosters.
But it looks like they're going to take away this battle anyway. There's quite a scuffle under the water. Yeah, that level 5 Gramps, they get full value from all those overtuned parts, and even the level link. Heavy guns always a strong choice. Strong shooting, fast, good ballistic nuking. But I wonder if this no frontline will come back to bite them. What do you think?
High skill ceiling suits. I think what's going to be a lot different here is it's a simple battle. So there's no spawn camping. There's no trapping your enemy where you want them. They can appear at any objective when it's time.
Absolutely.
And it looks like they're just getting overwhelmed, though. Team B is just getting overwhelmed by one-shot suits, which is surprising, but, it's just a numbers game at this point.
Down goes G-Bat. But unfortunately, it looks like that MP New is going to get taken out. Or maybe not. Ooh, and he takes out both with the whip side swing.
People forget it has that. They're so used to just the neutral or the down. The side is so powerful, too, just for exact instances like that.
It seems they're taking away the second fight. A little less than a 3,000 point gap. I think they can come away. If they come away with a strong fight here, they can definitely push to regain the lead. What do you think?
So they're doing something here that's kind of scary. They chose the low ground. They were at A. The other team was spawning in, I believe, at C. They should have pushed it. Instead, they kind of fell back and put themselves in the water. Not the best play, but it could work out with some good shooting. Looks like we're watching the RF Goof 1v1.
RF just walked by that whole team.
Yep.
And he's gonna be getting away with that free support kill, and it looks like the Yongwaven is going down next. Unfortunately, they just got collapsed in on and they broke. That level 5 grandpa is putting the fear of God into these pilots for sure.
So let's see if Team A does the same thing. Are they going to stay underwater, or are they going to get to a better position?
It seems that they are remaining in their positions. You do have effective stealth when you're underwater. So maybe we'll see some, surprise stealth attack play. Unfortunately, the Hazen play ran in, and he's going to go down just like that. No ballistic res. That White Rider ate him up.
He really did. I think at level 4 with the right parts, you're dealing 5, maybe 600 damage per bullet.
Absolutely. Especially considering that in that specific instance, Hazen play has no ballistic resistance. It just gets melted by anything.
No, it does not. And it looks like Team A is once again doing a wonderful job of just playing off the strengths of each other's suits. And look at that. These guys are having fun out here. Just, a little friendly team melee, keeping each other hyped up. Yeah. I mean, what are your thoughts? Is there anything that Team B can do here, Sero?
With this amount of time left, I don't think they can really bring it back here unless they somehow get 3 back-to-back wipes, but I don't think that's going to happen considering the course this game has been actively going on. It looks like, though, that they're actually going to take this fight.
There goes the White Rider.
He goes low, grabs his calf. Trying to get the sneaky Hyper Hammer, but it looks like...
Oh, he got his ally.
Oh, just barely.
Wow.
The MP New tanks it due to the Psycho Resonance. Now goes MP New. And then down goes the Yongwaven.
Yeah.
I think this match is as good as finished. What do you think, Troy?
Yeah, I think it's a done deal. I'd be surprised if we don't see another Mega Beam come out of this White Rider, though. Let's see if he hits the shot. Aoshi, can we get on that White Rider, please? Awesome. Let's see if he lands it.
I'm hoping. Here we go. Oh, unfortunately, he misses there. But maybe he can pick up a kill. Yep, that goes Yongwaven. Wow, look at the bulk on that. Even when his defense is reduced, he took no damage from that Hazen Blazing melee. And it seems like Team A is going to take this match again with a bigger gap than it was before.
So this brings us to a really interesting junction. I'd be interested to see, are we going to watch the 2 wildcard teams fight it out for 3rd place, or are we going to jump straight to the finale and put 2 well-known teams against each other?
I'm kind of excited to see the wildcards fight it out. What about you?
Oh, absolutely. Both wildcard teams have notable pilots, and just the only thing they're overcoming is just the lack of never playing together before.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, everybody's readied up. We're a second away from seeing what Overseas Oni has brought to the game. And then, what did you lock in for that C- pick? What did you lock in?
You know what? I'm gonna throw out a guess. I'm gonna say he's playing. You know, I'm keeping on the Pixie. You know, I'm gonna keep on the Pixie.
Okay, all right.
That or Jagan. But I'm thinking Pixie. Let's see. So we got a Hazel custom to start out with.
Ooh,
He's playing
you locked in-
X1. Wow, I did not
Dang,
think
that's the pick.
that is the pick. That is the definitive strongest 500 suit, without a doubt.
But look at Professor Kerbo bringing in the Zaku, heavy attack monster. He must be very comfortable with that suit because you don't see it too often these days.
It's definitely one of our two favorite suits to play. It's quite fast. It's got three instant stuns. It is one of the few suits in the game where its combo mod increases as it does more swings. It's got a very strong heavy attack. It can absolutely put the work on any suit. But it is very, very squishy, so you absolutely have to be careful here. Running alongside a full armor striker, very strong suit. G Quux, probably the best Janet cost right now, and a Blossom.
So what we're seeing here is Professor Kerbo had the right idea. He zeroed in on them having a support. He's making the actions to get to that support. But Team B did a good job. They had two gens get in his face and kind of deny him that easy support. So they played that right. But sadly, Team B didn't really capitalize on Kerbo getting so much attention. They should have pushed a lot harder than they did with him.
Looks like Dark's one's a little low. Gunner Gundam's coming out. He is. Oh, unfortunately, G-Quux got his legs broken. I'm not sure by what, but they shattered. And it looks like Team A is going to come in here with the stomp to finish it off.
Blossom also has broken legs, I believe. Or at least damaged.
Definitely overloaded for sure. Oh no! And who fell over? Everyone's falling over. I can't keep track. 500 is just that kind of cost. How do you feel about that G7 and Hazel pick, though? Those are suits I wasn't really expecting to see in this tournament.
G7, I could foresee coming. But yeah, definitely not a Hazel. I guess, again, it's one of those suits that pilot must be really comfortable in. It's his bread and butter, maybe. And so that's why he must have brought it. Because it just is a middle-of-the-road suit for me. I mean, there's better generals out there. Including the GO7. And with G-Quux, but granted, not a lot of folks got that off the banner. And then really dialing into it, there goes Kerbo. Yeah, there goes Kerbo in the raid.
Unfortunately, Psycho Zaku, too squishy. Team T doesn't seem to be supporting him that much. G-Quux seems to be going in, though. For what? I'm not quite sure. But that GBO Blossom is definitely putting in some work at the very least. The Team A does not have a raid, so if they play around their support enough, they can definitely bring it back here.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, is that Gunner... I mean, the Gunner's doing a great job in the back. Like, look right there, he's landing leg shots and finishing up kills.
Yeah. Gunner's very, very strong. It went, just like from Gramps, it went from not even an afterthought to one of the strongest suits. At basically every cost it's at. It has great scaling. They gave it 2 entirely new sub weapons, a Jerobi and a rapid fire. It's incredibly strong support. I almost expected to see it in essentially every match. How do you feel about Gunner?
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. Its reworking has taken it from obscurity to pretty frequent in most matches at cost. It's hard to fight a good Gunner pilot. If they're making their shots, you're in trouble. I guess what I haven't seen a whole lot of is the X1. Have you been paying attention to the X1? How's he doing?
He seemed to be doing quite well. Maybe is this a fake C+ in our lobby? He's playing around his tools quite well. He's using the Active Guard. He knows how to time his downswings. Ooh, unfortunately mistiming on the swing, but he seems to be able to escape it.
Yeah, I mean, you called it. He hit that active guard. Good timing. He knew the striker custom was coming in with that combo wombo, but he made him just kind of miss all of it.
Yeah, he's definitely playing really well. I was not expecting this. I have to say, I take back my words from before the match started. He's absolutely putting in his work, without a doubt.
All right, well, we still have 3 minutes left. We're looking at about a 7,000 point difference. It's not a done game yet. We've got plenty of time to come back. Like right here, the Gundam's low, the GO7's low. They could easily come through with a quick sweep.
Absolutely. They can at least shorten this gap a little bit, but it looks like they're getting caught by the Hazel, and down goes the Blossom. That is unfortunate.
And, just watching that right there, I think he's built that Hazel to be a melee monster. What are your thoughts?
It definitely looks like he's going all in on Hazel's melee. In the current 500 meta, its shooting is quite disappointing, to say the least. But its melee is still quite good. Pretty strong. So going all in on it is honestly not a bad idea at all. And it definitely seems to be working out for them. He absolutely carved through that Blossom, even through type to his advantage.
And with the Hazel shield, he survived that. I thought he was a goner, being TV1'd on the round, but he somehow pulled through.
Unfortunate. Because G clucks with a counter, and down goes Hazel. He did extraordinarily well for the suit he was playing. Absolutely fantastic play. This X1, though, definitely does not seem like a C player. How do you feel about this?
Smurfing is, if that's what he is, right? I'm not saying he is, but smurfing is always a very divisive topic in this community, right? Some people have fun in it and just want to go back down to lower costs to just kind of look around and see if they wouldn't pick in a sweaty lobby. Whereas some people absolutely hate it. It's not playing their true identity. They're going down to baby club clubs and seals. But I don't know. I think he's just playing on a team that has a lot of things going for him and a good synergy. I think he could be a genuine C-. What are your thoughts?
Well, his team is absolutely supporting him in basically every regard. They're giving him those openings to the GBO. He's able to get his shooting out. That rapid absolutely chunks through, using his active guard quite well. If this is a modern C player, man, I'll be honest, he's better than some A's I see.
Kerbo's got the support all alone. 1v1. Let's see that melee multiplier.
There's nothing you can do when Psycho gets on you. How do you feel about Psycho Zaku in this match?
Just based off of what I just saw Professor Kerbo pull out, give me more of that. Run 2 of them and just go Mad Axeman with it, right? I just wish he was getting more opportunities like that. I think his front line is trying hard, but with the X1 doing as good a job he was, it's hard to fight against. And just like that, we finished up game 1. Any surprises that you could take away from this and look forward to in game 2?
Well, I'm definitely very interested to see how well this C player does in these upcoming matches. I'm also curious to see the picks. I believe for our second match, we'll be going to 600 again, but this time on probably some overons, heavy gun, G cannon, maybe an MP double Zeta. On Arctic base, you can even run DJ Assault Package as well. Very strong suit. Mono ballistic, so it just kind of chews through basically everything. And looks like we're seeing another Grandpa coming in at 600.
Absolutely. If we don't have a trophy for this tournament, I think it should just be a Grandpa Gundam on top of a trophy.
But interestingly, he's running the Napalm rifle instead of the default beam rifle.
Does he know that?
We'll just have to see. It also received his buff, so maybe he knows something we don't. And he's accompanied by an RF Goof, a Young Faven, and an Oberon. And Team B is running a Zeta,
Wild picks.
Shiki Kai, RF Goof, and a GBO1.
Let's go Wave Rider suits.
Absolutely. Loving to see the Zeta. It's finally received some love from the devs, and it's, I would say, it's pretty good. How do you feel now that Zeta can be considered at least a strong suit?
It's it's coming back into relevance again. I love the downswings. If you're mastering that, it's hard to mess up that suit. It's it's got machine gun, beam rifle, sword, lance. Can't mess that up.
Can't mess that up. I do think it's Vulcans could still use a little bit of a touch up. They're still quite by old standards, but it has strong melee, good spear downswing. The nade is strong. The beam rifle is strong. Its transformation is strong, and it finally, after how many years, received maneuver armor as a skill.
About time. And then look at that. They're breaking the missile. You called it. They really want to open up this map. More visibility, better shooting lanes, and that makes sense for their comp. You got two suits with boost flaps, so the more room to work, the better.
Absolutely. What I'm curious about is this Tyakushiki Kai pick. I would not consider her in the upper echelons of 600 choices. How do you feel about Team B bringing this suit out to this fight?
I'm a big fan of the suit itself, but I won't bring it to anything competitive. It's great. It's got a good toolkit. It could use some reworking by the devs, but yeah, it's not competitive anymore. And what do you think that Grandpa Gundam is holding his own with that beam rifle?
Well, it's hard to say really. The base beam rifle is definitely a lot just going in for the raw melee. Wow. Okay. The base beam rifle for it is definitely a lot stronger, but running the napalm does give you an additional instant. So maybe they're trying to get some setup, maybe with like a goof setup with its heavy attack or its strong whip downswing. Or maybe he just forgot. He could have just forgot. How do you feel about that napalm?
I don't like it. I think the regular time is ridiculous. It's too long to give you any consistent chain value on your stuns. But what I am liking is I'm loving Professor Kerbo's play here. He's really making that double melee work for him. I saw him boost roll out earlier into his grenade launcher. And look at that. He's just making it look really easy for his teammates to get quick follow-ups. Ooh, and if you saw...
Oh, unfortunately gets hit by the whip.
Oh,
that Grimoire is scary. But also taking this fight.
And you know what's funny about the Grimoire is it really does, get affected by your network connection because it's a P2P game. So if you have a bad network connection and you get hit with Grimoire, you might even think you just lagged out of the game.
It's almost like time stands still for those two bars.
You're absolutely right. Okay, well, we got a close match here. Any clear advantages?
Well, Team 1 is obviously coming in with full health bars, but maybe we could... Ooh, adds an unfortunate on the whip. Yeah, it looks like it'll be clean this way. Unfortunately, they had big health bar advantage. I do think that relatively the comps are equal, besides the Tyakushiki Kai. So I definitely think we could see a pretty close game for once. Do you think this match? Do you think this match is going to go down that way? Or do you think it's going to be another stomp?
I don't think it's going to be another stomp. I think you dialed it in right there. I think the picks are a lot more close to what would be a clear-cut meta choice. I do think the Shiki kind of cost him. I hope he chose it because he's comfortable with it, and he felt like it might be a strong pick. I could see the angle. It's ballistic-oriented. The napalm can be good. It can, secure kills with its head beam cannon.
Absolutely.
But I think it's just a lot to overcome. But I will say, look at Professor Kerbo. It seems like he's just really going for top leaderboard and damage. He's really trying to put the team on his back. Let's see if he can do it.
I definitely think he has the skill to be able to do it. He has absolutely put in the work on the RF goof. He is making sure he is not able to roam around freely. That is definitely the player I know. He is one of the best Gen players I've ever seen. He knows how to work in a team. He knows how to work around his teammates. He knows how to target. He's doing incredibly well, making sure this team is at least able to put up a pretty good fight. But you know, that's just what happens when it's wild cards. Oof. Unfortunately, we get a team down swing there from the Yongwei then, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get a big punish from that.
Last man standing, going out with the downswing. Gotta love it.
If he was a little closer, that definitely would have hit for sure. But it looks like Team A is going to take this game home once again.
Yeah,
very good showing from both teams, all things considered.
Absolutely, I'd expect to see them back next tournament. So there we go. We've got there we go. Third
now
place
we should be
settled.
moving on. We should be moving on to the two winners for our finals of this tournament. The non-wildcard teams, though.
Yeah, and I want a formal inquisition put on this Chris guy. Is he really a C-? Because that was some wonderful play by him. You know, Android Chaos, Oni brought it. Not even surprised to see Kerbo up there on the leaderboard. And then Kirby Fan. I wonder if they're going to become best friends now or not.
You know, I'm really hoping for it.
If we get anything out of this tournament, I want a love story.
Star-crossed lovers meeting.
A dictionary.
It's all in my brain. It's all in my brain.
Oh man, Sero, you must be just the Goodwill Hunting of GBO too. It's fantastic. So here we go. We're getting into it. So this
looks to be
final...
a JR Gelgoog, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right. Yeah, JR Gelgoog to start it for Team A. So they have their raid. Will they run double raid?
Oh, that would be quite spooky. Let's see.
The White Rider knew it.
Yep, JR Gelgoog, White Rider, Gramps, and UL Goog. That is a team.
Look, that's the first appearance of the UL Goog. On the other side, we have the EWAC, we've got the Jetta, Zapper Machinery, and is that the Unit 4?
That is the Unit 4. Very good. Needs that ODL.
Yeah, so again, both sides bringing two strong gens that we just haven't seen. And speaking of that Unit 4, absolutely putting in work right there.
Arrow's already gone. Unfortunately, got focused out. Oh, but now goes the Johnny Riddick Gelgoog too. They're trading back and forth. Maybe we'll see a neutral end to this first fight. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't be surprised. Two strong teams, good synergy, strong suit choices, and they're duking that around E. It looks like the EWAC Jigen just came back in. He's kind of the interesting pick for me. Again, just because I think it's a little bit power crept. I mean, do you think it's still viable?
The EWAC Nero? The sport?
Oh, Nero, sorry, yeah.
Well, it definitely still has its niche cut out for it because it is our only good EWAC suit at 450. I'm ignoring level 2 Isaac because it is not good. It has a very strong machine gun. The Nero beam rifle is one of the strongest low-cost beam rifles in the game, and it does have balancers with a strong downswing, but it doesn't have the consistency that a suit like FA Alex does, and it's a little squishy. So it's definitely fallen off quite a bit, but I definitely think it still has its niche here, absolutely. And if you can get some proper setups, that machine gun can absolutely tear through gens.
Yeah, agreed. It looks like Team B has a slight edge right here, and then you know what we didn't talk about? We didn't talk about the fact that it's Target. Give them the rundown on that. I mean, how much is that going to mess up these teams?
Well, target shuffle with these teams can be potentially pretty detrimental, because if that White Rider, like he is right now, is the target, then they don't have a raid to effectively take him down in a fast period of time. So he's probably going to get some kills out here, but thankfully they're able to take him out quickly. And currently, the scores are pretty equal.
All right, it looks like that White Rider is back. He's still target for the next 30 seconds. Let's see if he can make the best of it.
If his team pushes up and opens up this kill for him, that can break open the whole game. Ooh, but he got knocked around the rock, unfortunately, so he's not going to be able to get that kill.
And it kind of puts you in a tough situation, because now you have to use the Gatling. You can't afford to waste 10 seconds of your target time charging up that NBL.
If he pushes up here, there's quite a few low suits, but unfortunately he runs out of time. But Zaku Machinery is target, and he gets taken out immediately. That is unfortunate for Team B.
That's just the bad RNG that Target Shuffle can provide. Just like that, you know, it swings 2,000 point difference.
It's still a pretty close game, all things considered. So I definitely do think Team B can definitely bring something back here. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I mean with these players, absolutely, no doubt. They're tried and true. You know, they're not unfamiliar with these situations. What kind of might be throwing them a wrench is they didn't grab B when they lost out on Echo. So they're really just getting harvested here at base. You know, are there any strategies they could implement to help dig them out from their base?
Well, I think they need to be make a big coordinated push down to the center. Try and either get the high ground or split up the enemy team. I think they could definitely escape this base trap. But it looks like they're actually able to push up right now.
Yeah, they got target solo. So I see GBAT likes to run the UL with the beam rifle. I'm a big boombox missile fan myself. I mean, how do you prefer to run that suit?
If I'm going to play UL Goog, I think I'm going to definitely run the boombox. You definitely want all that ballistic damage that you can. It pumps out so much that you can basically kill suits in one rotation if you're using the boombox. I think the beam rifle is definitely the weaker of the two options. Absolutely. But it is safer. It is safer and comfier to use, so I can see why someone wouldn't want to use the beam rifle. But it looks like Team A is still taking away these fights, but Team B is still getting some kills though. They're pushing back. It's a pretty small gap. At any moment, this game could instantly turn around. What do you think is gonna happen?
I mean, yeah, you got a fresh UAC coming in. If he can pick his targets and they can open up some lanes for him to shoot, they could easily swing it right here. But we're watching that White Rider just
he's waiting,
charging up. Just there it is,
and he hits it on the G4. Down goes G4 just like that.
95% done in one shot. That's scary.
That is the power of the White Rider. Just like we were talking about before a few matches ago. If it lands that hit, immediately takes a suit out of the fight, and we saw that happen right there and now. If I was that G4, ooh, I'd be a little bad.
Well, typically when you get hit with a shot like that, you almost wonder what just happened for like 2 or 3 seconds. You go through like a quick 7 steps of grief, because you just got in the fight and now you're already back on the loading screen. I mean, has that ever happened to you where you just get wiped out so fast you get just spun?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a primarily raid main, so it is not uncommon for me to take one step out and then to get immediately melted by 1 or 2 generals. That is unfortunately the life we live in GBO 2 at the moment. It's always quite frustrating when it occurs, but you know, that's just GBO 2 really.
And then speaking of GBO 2, speaking of this game, game 1 of the finale round, it looks like Team A is going to squeak out a win. It was a closer one than what we've been seeing all afternoon, but they've earned it. They really did. And that should take us to game 2 of the finale. Tell people about the second game. I mean, what cost, what map, what are we looking at?
Absolutely. So going into the very potentially last match of the tournament, maybe Team B will pull up the comeback here. We will be going to our highest cost of the tournament yet. We will be going to 650 basic match back again on Impact site.
Woo! Boy, I love 650. Have you been tracking the comment raid?
Absolutely. Luckily, we have a few counters on the sports side, like the RF Gelgoog. It's got that portable heavy. Rizel DBU, absolutely monster suit. Zeta 3B,
Yeah.
we've got a lot of strong options here. Prototype Psycho being the first, no surprise at all. One of the strongest suits it cost.
It's slow, but it's strong.
Absolutely. When it hits that Psycho mode, oh, it becomes an absolute demon. Let's see what else we're working with this match. We're working with a Missile Power Mark 5, a Felnon RF Gelgoog versus 2 Proto-Psychos, a Double Zeta, and a Canagon. It's definitely fallen off a bit thanks to the uprising of these other modern 650 suits, especially with RF Gelgoog, but I think it could still definitely pack a considerable punch. Because it's basically a general light. How do you feel about this Missile Power Mark 5 choice, though? I don't think it's quite meta at the moment. It's currently getting focused down quite heavy, but it does have some strong ballistic damage. But
it does? Ooh, look at that Psycho.
Yeah.
The punch.
That 260% downswing was a monstrous hit. Yeah.
That's really what they're going to be looking for, right? Just easy topples, and then you have both of them come in with their punching combos, finish it out. It's a wrecking crew.
Yeah, absolutely. They wait for that proper setup, and then they just absolutely unleash hell with that downswing. Especially when they hit the Psycho mode, it does absolutely monstrous damage. Prototype Psycho is so scary to fight. Absolute demon.
Oh, and just like that, Team B with a wipe, they're grabbing an objective while GBAT pins down the remaining member, which I think is Nightmare in that that Mark 5.
Yeah, that Missile Power Mark 5. Unfortunately, it does not, well, I don't think a lot of suits do good in these types of situations, but it especially doesn't do well. Getting focused on by that Canagon at the high range. Yeah, not much he could do there. That's just an unfortunate spawn, really.
And we didn't talk about it, but it is a basic match. Bases are on the table. Do you think they'll take a base?
I think Team B will definitely try and hit that base. Double Zeta can absolutely nuke bases all by itself. I think if they win this fight here, which it looks like they're going to go immediately for that base bomb.
Speaking of, that's one thing I'm surprised that we haven't seen more of is that transform mode of the Double Zeta. I think we've only seen short bursts of it. What makes that flying fortress so special right now?
Well, we don't know if it's currently bugged, but currently, while Double Zeta is transformed in its biosensor, it has 500% stun resistance, and its missiles absolutely nuke anything as strong other transformed weapons, and it can absolutely look at that, almost half the base's HP gone with no effort or time at all.
And 2 suits were targeting it.
Is incredibly hard to put down. That suit is a genuine monster. Up there with the likes of Proto Psycho.
Absolutely. And you brought up a good point, because I've heard discussion earlier. It could be a bug, like a value got swapped or something is incorrect from the devs on that MA mode.
Well, we'll see. There's been a lot more bugs recently with this dev team. So we'll see. If it's not, well, I guess we're just stuck with King Double Zeta to rule over 650 for the next few months before we get more power creep.
GBO 2 bugged, unheard of.
Truly, I've never heard 2 things that didn't go together like bugs and Gundam Battle Operation 2. But it looks like, focusing on the match, looks like Team B is actually taking a bit of a hit here. In comes the MP Mark 5. While that suit isn't doing the best right now, that downswing is still absolutely monstrous. Super fast, super strong, very long, very easy to hit. Maybe that's why they brought it.
Maybe that is why they brought it.
Fortunately, Canagon's downswing does not go that far. It looks like they're going to be, the Protopsycho looks like to be trying to take C, while his team fights the RF Gelgoog.
You know what they need? They need that. They needed to grab another objective.
Absolutely. It looks like they're actually pushing Team A slightly back. Oh, look at that. Let's see what they do here. They do have a considerable health disadvantage, but they do have a suit advantage, so maybe they can make something work here. Ah, that goes counter. Unfortunate. Ooh.
Counter. Big counter. Good follow-up.
Now it's just the Proto Psychos. Oh no. Oh,
you know what? It's not just the Proto Psychos, because those things are just walking tanks. Very bulky suits. They can take a lot of damage. It's going to take a lot of time to get them down.
Even in their Psycho Frenzy, when they take more damage, they're still so hard to put down. That suit has the bulk of a 700 easily. Genuinely terrifying suit.
And see, that's what's gonna kind of hurt them, is because it took so long to take down two suits that they weren't able to push up and grab an objective.
But it also means that the Team B is a little staggered here. So they may, if they try and risk it, they might be able to get a spawn. But it looks like Team B is spawning early instead of waiting for their prototype Psycho. Remember, gonna try and clean up here. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I mean, if your team A, you push it, push the numbers. You have to. Do you think they'll ever commit and then that Psycho comes in?
It looks like they're trying to commit now. So yeah, definitely, without a doubt. Yep, down goes the MP Mark V, the RF Gelgoog, and the Felnot. Now all that remains is the PPG. It probably doesn't die here because of PPG. Yep. Oh, that suit is so hard to kill. Honestly, I think that's the reason why the scores are so low right now. Those prototype Psychos just take too long to kill. Waste a lot of time. Ooh, he gets a counter. Down goes Proto Psycho. How do you currently feel about this score gap going on right now?
Again, it's closer than what we saw in the first two rounds with wildcard teams, but I think it's just teams that have practiced together are on a different caliber. And then if you look at that, I see GBAT had put some time and focus on that base. Do you think they'll get base in the next minute?
I definitely think they can. If that double Zeta just ignores everything else and goes to the base, he can absolutely shoot through that base. Ooh, Cannon Gun gets the lucky down turn on the PPG. So he's able to get out and escape. It looks like that RF Gelgoog is unfortunately going down. Oh, he's going directly for the base. Let's see. Can he take it out? I believe he definitely has enough time here. Yep, even with the help from his teammates too. Yep, Team A's base is yep, there it goes. Just like that. Absolutely crazy base damage.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's safe to say that Team B is taking away this game.
Yeah, and watching the double Zeta work as a spectator, I'm kind of understanding why people want it nerfed.
It's definitely quite... I think calling it a fly would be a little bit of an understatement. It's massive and annoying. That suit is certainly incredibly scary.
And just like that, tournament's wrapping up. We've got our first and second place. Heavyzillians just really put in the work and took away the win here.
Yep, they did quite well in the last tournament when they were facing us, so it's not surprised to see that they're taking home away this game and this match and this tournament.
Absolutely, but a big shout out to Moon's Goons and both wildcard teams for coming out. Everybody put on a really good show, a lot of things to look at. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if everybody comes back for the next tournament, which we'll have to see